do kind of go down this path in life and we age, our bodies
Mm-hmm.
change, things go differently. Okay. Some stuff you
Yep.
snap, crackle, and pop it. Okay. The one used to doing it and pop, lock, and drop it. Okay.
Sure
So
are. What's up, and welcome to the Femme Fit Chicks Podcast. We're your hosts, Aurelia Michael Holmgren and Brit Inez. Here we talk all things health, wealth, womanhood, and of course, ownership. So sit back or stand up straight on that treadmill and enjoy today's episode.
hey y'all, welcome back to another episode with your Femme Fit Chicks. I'm your host, Brit Inez, and I will let my beautiful co-host intro herself.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Bronx, New York girl, Aurelia Michael Holmgren.
And we want to first thank you for coming back and tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure you go ahead on tap that like and subscribe button while you are here, because we got some nuggets to share with you guys today. So we are getting all into embracing your body in all of its stages. We don't care what you do, whether you are a mommy, whether you are just a working babe, whether you are an athlete. We are here to talk about embracing your body in all the stages, because when you do that, it just makes life so much more fulfilling and your journey's so much happier.
Absolutely.
So,
And
yeah.
before we do that, product placement. Have you copped your mugs yet? Whether you're always here for the tea or you like a little coffee, something a little stronger, a little motivation in a mug, go on head over to femfitchicks.com/mugs. But check out the whole website. It's really cute.
And don't forget to plug your mug. Okay. We love
Your
to
mug.
plug
Tag
your
us.
mug. Take a picture, take a selfie. It could just be your mug in your favorite spot where you sit in the morning,
Okay.
wherever it is. Okay. Share it with
Period.
us, tag us, and we just want to thank you so much for your support.
All right, let's jump right into it. So I brought this idea to Britt because it is very prevalent. And I feel like sometimes I know you've all seen podcast episodes where it feels like it's a good topic, but it's not necessarily relevant to what the people that are doing the podcast are going through. And when people are going through those moments, it just, to me, makes it a lot more personal, and I'm a lot more invested. And this is something I know I'm particularly dealing with right now, is learning to really embrace my body in all the ages and stages, right? As I enter into this fourth decade, I'm just kind of like learning to really appreciate the line, like, love the skin you're in. It was like a cute little, commercial, but I'm really starting to understand that on another level now. And so I'm excited for us to tap in. So I'll let Britt kick it off because I love hearing her ideas. Tell me about how you're embracing your body right now.
Yeah.
What's happened? Like, fill
So
us in.
for the girlies who don't know, or the guys, or the people,
Yeah,
I
whoever's
am
chilling.
currently
Okay.
in my improvement season, which you can kind of just consider a muscle building phase. So I am actively working hard to put muscle on this body. I'm eating a lot of food. I'm pushing heavy in the gym, and because of that, I feel great. I have great lips, but obviously, of course, my body looks very different than how it looked. If you guys followed me in my competition season last year, when I'm like getting ready for the show stage link, okay,
Yeah.
you're not seeing ab lines or anything like that. And for
Them
me,
obliques popping though. Don't
I mean, we've
don't
been
play around.
holding on a little bit. I
Don't
ain't
play around. I
gonna
see
lie.
them lines. I'll be seeing them.
They
Okay,
they they
sorry.
they're there. They're
Just had to
there.
hand her at least a flower. Okay, go
Thank you. I got my little single flower race right here. Thank you. It's right there. But that for me has just been over the years of me doing this for so long, with competing and shifting my body from lean to full to fed to back lean again. It's being able to celebrate what my body is doing and focusing on performance, focusing on how good I feel in my body, not
Yeah.
necessarily so much of what the scale says. This is my heaviest weight that I have been at for a while now, but I love the way I feel. And I think once you begin to shift your focus and not defining yourself by how lean you are, or how, if your goal is to be thin, how thin you are, then you can truly enjoy and celebrate your body and all the good things that it does for you each and every single day. Because our bodies do a lot for us. And we as can be our own worst critics, I mean, I feel like we can be really hard on ourselves and hold ourselves to just almost kind of unhealthy standards, if you will.
Yeah.
And it can really take a toll on how good we feel about our overall journey. So for me, it's been a lot of not playing the comparison game of looking at, oh, okay, well, this person has been, you know, focusing on growth for this long, they look like this, they're
They're
able to do
pushing
this.
this much. Mm-hmm.
Exactly, exactly. Because as you kind of mentioned, part of this is giving our bodies grace, as we do kind of go down this path in life and we age, our bodies
Mm-hmm.
change. Things go differently. Okay. Some stuff you
Yep.
snap, crackle, and pop it. Okay. The one used to doing it and pop, lock, and dropping it. Okay.
Sure
So
are.
you got to give yourself some grace during that time, and not beat yourself up about it. So for me, it's been a lot of just kind of working with my body instead of working against my body, letting it do what it naturally wants to do, honoring it when it tells me, hey, girl, we a little tired today. The 90
Mm-hmm.
pounds plus spice ain't going to happen today. Hey, okay, let's go
Yep.
down a little bit. But also celebrating where I'm at, because I think so much of when you are in a different stage, you tend to not celebrate until you reach your next goal, your next destination. But I find things every single day to be like, you know what? I'm happy
Gratitude.
because of this
Yep.
and that. Exactly. And finding those things to feel grateful about my body. And I have this conversation with my girlies a lot, because a lot of my girls are whether just starting back or starting off in their journey, or they're going to that next phase. It can kind of feel like you're in this kind of gray area, and it's
Yeah.
not really that fun because you don't really see the end goal, the end destination. But I always tell them, if you find things to have fun in every single day along the way, it's going to keep you so much more happy about where you're going, and you'll feel so much more fulfilled along the way.
It's like dating, when you're in that place of like, we're seeing each other, but we're not exclusive. We can get in our own way of like, well, what does that mean? Like, do they want to do it? Instead of saying, oh my gosh, today, I got a text this morning. We talked about this, or we had a great time. Like being able to be present is really what you're saying. Like, how
Absolutely.
can you be present with where your body is right now
Mhm.
instead of looking back to the past that no longer needs you and looking to the future that doesn't exist yet? That makes
Mhm.
complete sense.
Mhm. And it's easier said than done. So we don't want to make it seem like we're over here making
Completely.
it seem like, oh, just think happy thoughts. Like, we keep it real over here, okay? Like, it's hard. It's rough some days, okay?
Oh yeah, for a long time for me, it was rough most days. So I'll go ahead and put my testimony out there real quick, just in case that's what y'all thought we were doing over here. We
Mhm.
listen and do not judge, okay?
Mm-mm, not at all.
Um, so it's been an interesting few months. It's been an interesting few years. In summary, I started bodybuilding in April of 2021, because this is 25, right? Yep. And I loved my body in 2021. Like I look back at videos, sometimes my husband will laugh at me because I'm like, I I didn't look like what I thought I looked like, which is fine because I thought I was that girl. And she was. But I
Still,
definitely didn't look like what in my mind I thought I looked like. But I loved my body. And then I started bodybuilding, and to see my body do what it did. Now, when usually during your first season, unless you've already got a lot of muscle, you more so just burning down fat and seeing what's underneath the hood. So it was cute. But then that second year, when I was able to take time, put on muscle, I was able to see a fuller look. I was obsessed, probably, and didn't realize it at the time. So then when we went into our third season, I started noticing the month or two before, like the body just did not want it. And it was telling me in every which way it could. And then it would give me a little bit, give me a little inch, and I'd be like, okay, we got to keep going. And it was probably within those last 2 weeks that like the body just was not responding. I wasn't really having fun. I wasn't really that excited about my show. And then show day for me is probably one of the most it's probably the longest day of my life. Like something about being backstage for that many hours, it triggered a lot of things in me I didn't even know I had until I realized this association with when I feel physically or mentally stuck on something, what it does. And so the day after the show, I decided to hang up my heels. I told Britt we were supposed to do nationals together, that I didn't want to do nationals. She was so proud of me. She made me feel so good about my decision. She felt it coming anyway. So I'm glad I saved that money and saved that headache. I still went to the show, of course, to support her. But um, once that was done, then I was in this new phase, right? Of like, okay, we have to reverse. So I did that for 2 months with my coach. And then I woke up the next morning and there was nobody to check in with. And I didn't have, I had been in reverse before. I had done well, I had done poorly, but I had never been in a never ending reverse, like a never ending improvement season. And so at first I tried to ease in a little bit, but then there were times where I went off the deep end and then it got to a point where I just started talking really badly about myself and how I looked, and it was hard for me, it was hard for my husband to hear. Like, it was a very dark place, and I feel like body wise, like recomposition looks much better than I did in 2021. But because I could no longer unsee what I saw going from the 120s to the 90s pounds, 98 pounds, 4 times, I didn't realize how much work it was going to take afterwards. And so, thank God for my church and a recent event that we had where I just really, by the time I left there, I was like, the body dysmorphia has to go. Like, this is literally going to drive me crazy. If God wanted me to be in the body that I was in on stage, or somewhere in between on stage and now, that's the body I will be in. If he don't want me to be in that body, he wants me to be in this body, then I'm going to be in this body. And I can't allow a hobby that I paid for ruin the rest of my life, have me addicted to the scale when it was supposed to be fun. And so the last, the team conference is about a month ago. There's just been a whole unlocked level of freedom and security and confidence that I can't say I've ever had, because I hadn't been in the bodybuilding world before to go through something like this. But I'll be 40 in September, and I feel like magic. And can't nobody tell me nothing. I feel amazing inside and out. Skin is popping. Okay.
Glowing.
Put on foundation, but didn't need it. We're 2 pounds down this week with just by doing the things I said I would do, only weighing myself, twice a week. And that's a big stretch from someone who weighed themselves twice a day, at least. So I'm just really grateful. And that's why I wanted to cover this topic, because I know I'm not the only one out there who is dealing with this challenge. And I would suggest to anyone that's never worked with a coach, and you're in this place and you're feeling like you're trying to be the doctor and the patient, get a coach. And this is not a shameless plug, but Brit is that girl. I've been sitting in the corner sipping.
Yes.
And I've heard how she responds to her clients, and the grace and the love and the honesty that she brings. That's what I think everybody needs a coach. Even if you know what you're doing, it never hurts to have a second eye and someone to just love on you on those days where you can't find the energy to love on yourself.
Absolutely, because so much of what diet culture, you've heard it kind of being referenced. And even like when we were kids, like I watched my mom do diet after diet after diet. Like back in the day, it wasn't about like eating protein and this. It was just about how skinny can you be? Lose 10 pounds. As you look at magazine covers and the grocery aisle checkout, it's lose 10 pounds by summer. How to drop 2 dress sizes by
Remember
May.
that
Like,
thing you could like squeeze your thighs?
oh girl, the Thigh Master, she had it. Yes, my mom had everything that was on the ass scene on TV, like all those things. So everything, we've been marketed to be something different since we were like little girls. So it can be really challenging and hard to let go of the scale, because for so many of us, it's how we've defined our level of fitness. It's how we defined our self-love to ourselves.
Your worth.
Yeah. You step on the scale, you don't like the number, boom, automatically your day is bad. You step on the scale, you like the number, oh, okay, cool, you feel better, right? But something that's a piece of plastic that shows a 3-digit number that no one else sees should not have that much control over.
And when you have the 0.2, 0.6, that messed me up bad.
Yeah.
So, no, absolutely. And I think part of it too is, I'm all about having, if you don't know, now you know, I'm all about a good goal. But you really have to sit down with yourself and make sure that as you're creating these goals around your body, they really have to be smart goals. They really need to be realistic. They need to feel attainable, because sometimes we pick arbitrary numbers, right? I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to be a size X, Y, and Z. Like people say, I want to make a 6 figures, which they all mean $100,000, because that's supposed to measure up to something. And so really making sure that when we're creating these goals, that we're creating them from a good place. And when I say good, I'm meaning healthy place, and not from what I think the outside world wants to see, what I need to be in order to get a date, what I need to be in order to get a job, what I need to do in order to book the role. really, if you, because I realized when I was watching a lot of women who talked about like body positivity, I was like, wow, this person is more secure in their body with these hundreds of people writing all this crazy comments to them than I feel about myself. And no one is talking bad about me except me.
Hmm.
And it
And that's a
just was not
word.
good.
Yeah, that's a word. I think a lot of us tend to hold ourselves back from different levels of happiness because of our own, like, just perceived stuff. Like, no
Yeah,
one said it to us, but it's just what we think about ourselves. And that is what's causing us to feel disappointed, or like we failed at something, or we're not where we should be. Like, that should be,
goes
you
back to
know?
that should. Yeah, no,
Yes, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. And even kind of like go off of what you just said, being open to redefining what it looks like for you now, because regardless of where you are right now, you are older than what you were yesterday, and you're older than
Yep.
where you were 10 years ago. So if you are holding yourself to a standard that you were at 10 years ago, maybe we gonna have to update.
We're gonna have a problem,
We're gonna have to,
right? Your
we
computer
gotta,
can't work from 10 years ago on
come
that
on.
operating system, neither will you. And that's so
It's for
interesting
an
you
update.
say that. I've had
Yeah.
a lot of clients this week say, like, I wish, I'm just trying to get back to that person that was. And I'm like, yeah, but that person that was went through what they did and you didn't come back that person. So
Mm-mm.
if we go back to that person, then the next time you go through something, we're going to be going backwards again. How about
Exactly.
we so the person was saying, like, I want to be the fearless person I was then. And I said, but the fearless person found something they feared and realized they were, what if we just do it anyway? Do it scared anyway, because you weren't that person. You were fearless because you had nothing to fear. Now let's move on to the next thing. So that makes just so much sense. And like, and even I was telling Britt that I went shopping because I'm at the gym and the leggings are pulling, they're pinching in. And so I'm part of the problem is that I'm still trying to fit, if you read the Bible, trying to fit new wine into old wineskins. The size small in this season, ain't it? And so, why am I sitting here criticizing these rolls coming over my pants, which is really just because I need to go up to a medium? I'm pressing in my stomach, or I have a pair of jeans, and when I sit down, it ain't TMI. The crotch is not giving. It's very why am I subjecting myself to this? And instead of going and getting clothing that makes me feel powerful and beautiful and shoot that I can sit down in comfort.
Absolutely. And I think you have to be open to understanding that it might look totally different for you this time around. So, like, when a lot of my girls come to me, they'll tell me, hey, I want to be 150 pounds. I had 3 clients start with me all last month. Their goal weight is 150 pounds, surprisingly, all different walks of life,
That
all
number,
ages.
yeah.
Yeah. And I always ask why. Okay, what's this 150 number? Tell me about the number. What's the magic behind the number? And each one of them in their own way just said, well, I really like the way my body looked when it was that. I'm like, okay, but do you understand that, like, right now, you're going to be building more muscle mass. You're going to be changing your composition. So your clothes are going to start fitting differently. Do you really care if you're 150 pounds, or do you care if you walk into your closet, you put on anything you want, and you feel like, can anybody tell you nothing?
Right.
Like, which one matters more to you? And they all say the latter. I'm like, okay, can we just agree to kind of let go of that number? Okay, yeah, you're right. So just be open to letting it go, because the feeling is what you should be chasing and focusing on. Now, granted, if there's some kind of health issues that are going on and your doctor has told you, hey, you need to drop this weight, then of course there's a time and place for everything. But in general, I think we can be a lot more satisfied with our bodies and where it's at and where it's not at if we just focus on the feeling versus the number.
1000%. And
Mhm.
it's really just about like not agonizing yourself. I think part of me not getting new clothes is almost like punishing myself. Well, that's what you get for not fitting into the clothes that you fit before. That's on you. Deal with it. Be uncomfortable. So now I'm rotating 3 pair of jeans and 4 pair of leggings. And I hate two of them, and I'm just sitting here like, even like with sports bras and everything, like they don't, I'm almost re-tearing my shoulder trying to put on a sports bra.
No, ma'am.
What does that prove?
Nothing, ma'am. Not just buy the bigger clothes. Buy the bigger jeans. Buy the
Somebody
bigger
out there
clothes.
wants that, will take that sports bra, will take those jeans. Like, I really want to like free us this year from these absolutes and these dangling carrots. It was the same thing I was telling you about my hair. It was like, I just had this idea of this bun. I need to grow my hair long enough to put it in this bun, this bun, this bun. And I even have a picture that I had bought of a woman. It's like abstract from behind and it's her hair in a bun. And I'm like, what is this obsession with the bun? When I feel like when my hair gets to the place where it's long enough to put in a bun, I'm gonna put it up and go, oh, okay. So
Yeah,
sometimes we're just holding on to what we think will look like, how we think people will treat us
that
if
part.
we're a certain way. And if people are treating you differently based on how you look, we already know that's happening in the outside world. But if that's happening in house, that price is way too high. You need to cut
Let
it.
it go. Let it go. Yes.
Absolutely. Because there are people out there that will harp on your insecurities and try to keep you down and
If
kind
you
of
let
make
them.
those little comments if you let them.
Yeah.
1000%.
Yeah, it's controllable. And
1000%.
if you find yourself in a situation where you're replaying like negative self talk or even like others' opinions that it just doesn't really serve you in that moment, change the channel. Change the channel. Think a different thought. Say
Yeah.
one thing that you love about your body in that moment. And I find that that's also helped me a lot too. And those moments when I do have that self doubt that kind of creeps in, every now and then,
Yeah.
shift the focus just that fast. Just like if you drive in a car and the song comes on the radio you don't like, you're gonna skip it. You listen to a playlist, something comes on you don't like, what are you gonna you're gonna skip it, right? Skip it, skip the thought, just move on to the next. Because
Same. Yeah.
yeah, you can get stuck in where you don't want to be if you focus on where you don't want to be.
Yeah. And then what happens sometimes, I know this is something, shoot, I dealt with yesterday, and I really felt good about my decision was like, so I know I'm taking 2 days off a week. I've already taken 2 days off a week, but today I don't feel well. I'm congested. I've been at church since 7 a.m. It is now 2 o'clock and I'm just getting home. Yes, I could go downstairs and do cardio. Yes, I could go to the gym and lift, but for what? To say I did it, to make sure I checked. I'm not going to fill the box. That's for sure. So if y'all don't know about this concept that Andrea, I think it's from her job, but they talk about like fill the box. Don't just check it. And so yesterday I was going to put a little line through. I wasn't even going to get the other part of the check. I was going to go just because that's what I said because I'm getting on the scale tomorrow and if I don't go then the scale, and I really had it was almost like my alter ego just came and just it was probably Brit came in and just sealed my lips and was like I literally was like, what would Brit say? Lay down and stay down.
Thank you.
What are you doing?
I'm
And
happy
I
about
did,
it. Yes.
and I dropped the weight anyway. So it was just kind of like, yeah, sure, maybe I would have still dropped it if I had went, but who knows how I would have felt when I woke up this morning.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's knowing too, like your body needs the rest. I see a girl in the gym all the time. You know, those people that come to you and ask you questions that they don't plan to do anything with the information.
Mm-hmm. Just wondering.
And
Here you talk.
she basically was like, she does full body every single day, or like she'll do upper body 3 days in a row or something like that. And I said, girl, your body needs to rest. Rest is so key for the mind, for the body, for the spirit. And sometimes when you rest is when you start to look at like, what's my why? Why do I want this number? If you don't stop for a second to even think about what you're doing, now we're just in autopilot. And then even if you end up getting the number or be in the place you thought you wanted to be, it doesn't mean you're going to be happy. You might be exhausted. And then you end up binging or you end up, and then now we go on the slippery slope of being upset about our decision. And now we're upset that we're upset about our decision. And it starts this slippery slope. So I think it really, like you said, get to that point, cut it, love on yourself. You
Yeah.
only get this body once.
Mm-hmm. You got to take care of it inside and out. And that includes what you not only just eat, but also digest
Mm-hmm.
in your head. Like what you
Right.
listen to, who you listen to, the people around you, even the accounts that you follow. If you feel like you're looking at stuff that's making you feel bad about your situation, mute, unfollow, delete, whatever you got to do. Protect yourself,
Love it.
protect your energy. Yes.
All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. Y'all already know what to do. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm just going to sing this every time. Grab your mug, send us ideas. things you want us to cover. Give us your thoughts on this. Are you truly embracing where you are right now? Did this call you out a little bit, or are you like, nah, I done went through this. I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. I'm feeling good in the skin I'm in.
And if that is you and you know someone in your life that needs to hear this message, share this out with them.
Sharing is caring.
It is. It's love.
All
Thank
right,
y'all so much
y'all.
for joining, and
Peace.